Hello, everybody. Yes, it's working. Good. How does it get any better than that? So I am here with you, somewhat mobile now and able to move a little better. So I wanted to invite you into a bit of what's been going on for me today. I woke up both today and yesterday with such a what we call an access intensity in my body that I practically couldn't move. So how do we go about changing things when they're like that? What is it that creates that? What is it? What is it? I mean, everyday language, we're used to calling it a pain in my ass, a pain in my neck, a pain, so what is this? In access speak, we call it an intensity, because our bodies, these amazing, magical, delicious bodies that we have, they're so freaking aware. They're so aware. They're giving us information all the time about what's going on with so many different things, like what's going on with ourselves, what's going on with other people, lots of other people for miles and miles and miles around, and even what's going on with the planet. So we tend to go to, oh my God, my back hurts, or, oh, my leg is twisted, or whatnot. And years ago, I learned one of the most potent tools that exists on the planet, and that is the question, who does this belong to? And the thing is, the thing you've got to get, the key beneath that question is to recognize, acknowledge, claim, own, and even celebrate, really, how amazingly aware your body is. As we keep looking at our body as this like thing we schlep along in life, or this machine like a car that breaks down past a certain age, or whatever the case is. Well, what if it's not? What if our yummy, delicious, amazing bodies are these sensory, sensate, sensual organisms that give us awarenesses about every single thing around us, like everything around us? And see, most of my life, probably up to, I'd say like 2 or 3 years ago, and well after I began my journey with the Access Consciousness tools, I just didn't get that, I just did not get that. It was like everybody else the questions worked for, but I'm not aware. Okay, aware lie, but I'm not really aware, right? I mean, major like judging myself left, right, and center. And then I just realized all those things that were going through my head were not mine. And I really was aware, far more aware than I'd ever given myself credit for. And that includes, thoughts and, depressions and whatnot, and it included physical things in my body as well, except I didn't recognize that really my body, like this one, this amazing body, had that capacity. So yes, I would use the question, who does this belong to? And if it would lighten up, I'd return it to whoever that came from with consciousness attached. So return to sender with consciousness attached. But somewhere in there, I totally denied that I was aware. I'll give you a great case in point. I was at a 7-day retreat in Costa Rica a couple of years ago, I guess. And when I was there, the first day I was fine. The second day I was fine. The third day, I don't know what hit me, but I could barely stand up straight. I had the pillow that I would carry with me to class, and thank goodness I had this mat on the floor at the front of the room just by Gary's feet, and I was like this for the majority of the class, and I had no concept really what was going on. I just knew that it wasn't mine because I'd asked the question, so who does this belong to? But I hadn't quite acknowledged just how aware I was. And I was like that for 1 day, 2 days. Even Gary Douglas asked me, so who does that belong to? I'm like, not mine. And I returned it to sender, even with his, contribution there too. And I still had the bloody whatever that was. I had no idea what it was, and I was just miserable. I could barely eat. I subsisted on very little liquids throughout this few days, and I wasn't having any ease until bling, I get this WhatsApp message from the mommy chat in my daughter's class. In the mommy chat in my daughter's class, someone wrote, oh, just wanted to let you know that this and this child has scarlet fever. Well, this and this child happened to be my daughter's closest friend, who she played with the same day that I flew out to Costa Rica. So the scarlet fever that the kid had, my body was perceiving. And only when I got the awareness from that little message in the mommy chat did I actually get that my body is really far more aware than I'd ever acknowledged or given it credit for. So please, 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 please recognize that you too may be far more aware than you've ever imagined. And you can have so much more fun with yourself and your body when you recognize that this is a conversation. Now, it's not a conversation in English or in Spanish or in Russian or in Japanese or in Korean or French or whatever. It is an energetic conversation, and the way that we hear it most often is not when it's like this gentle, sweet, kind little message. It's when it's that kapow, you know, this intensity that shows up. So first of all, I wonder, what is that we make so much more valuable about pain or intensity or the seriousness of something, rather than the lightness of just choice, just recognizing that, oh, I'm doing it again. What else could I choose? So yes, I'm moving my body now. And yes, I am very aware that something is going on here. My body is in this conversation with me right now saying, there's something here for me to deal with. I'm wondering actually, because it's in my back. So what am I hiding behind me? There is an awareness that I'm refusing to receive. And the more I refuse to receive it, and it's not a cognitive thing. It's not like we, like figure it out. Oh, I have to, sit down and it will give me notes and, my body's going to communicate with me ever so clearly. We have to work at this communication with our bodies. And it doesn't have to be like heavy duty work. It could be just fun and relaxing work. It's just like, hey, body, so what is this? I haven't been sitting by the computer all that much. I've been recording things or doing things in different positions and moving around. It's not that, sitting at the desk for so many hours. So what is this? What is this information that you're giving me? What is this conversation, body? And if I weren't refusing it, would I be able to change this? Like, what is this? So first of all, I'd like you to get that what we label as pain, and yes, we can call it a pain. We can say, this person is such a pain in the rear for me, or whatever the case is. And if we let go of those points of view, then we have far less pains from that perspective. But also, what if it's something else? So I asked, who does this belong to? And I followed it up with a question. Is it mine? Well, it's actually a couple of questions. Is it mine? Is it someone else's? Or is it something else's? So those questions cover a whole lot of ground. So if it's mine, considering 99.99999% of our thoughts, feelings, emotions, everything else that we've had isn't really ours, even if we've already decided and concluded and computated, that it is. But if it's not, then I can destroy and uncreate and let go completely, pock and pod, everywhere I've bought that thing and I've locked it in my body and I have made it mine. Because the minute I say, my back hurts, it's mine, I've taken it on. But I don't have to take it on. I can choose something different. So, that's the first thing. Who does this belong to? Is it mine? I can destroy and uncreate it now. And then anywhere else that's reverberating or locked into my body, I can destroy and uncreate it all. Right, wrong, good, bad, online, pop, pop, shorts, boys, and beyonds. My body likes that. I can feel the tingles in my back there. The other one is if it's somebody else's. So somebody else's, that's the traditional who does this belong to kind of question. So if it's somebody else's, okay, thank you, body. Thank you, you amazing, magnificent, aware body. Thank you for this information. It's not ours. It's that person's, and even if I don't know who that person is, it's their choice to have what it is that they're having. And when I return to sender with consciousness attached, please get that I'm not condemning that person to whatever it is. It just begins this domino effect of returning to wherever it came from. And it may not have started out being an intensely painful kind of thing. It may have been something completely different, that just like the game of broken telephone that we may have all played as kids, it changes as it goes from person to person to person. So when we return it to sender, that just lightens up everybody's world. So wouldn't do that if I were you, eh? And then, is it something else? So something else is usually the earth communicating with us. And as you can see behind me, well, first of all, I've probably had these capacities with the earth, as have many of us, and we haven't even noticed that. But also being out here and seeing nature and the volcanoes and the far off lake and the trees and everything, there's this, like, every morning there's this pull that I perceive from the earth requesting a contribution. And generally it's like a really light kind of thing. And what I've gotten over the last couple of days when I've been asking these questions, it's not somebody else's, it's something else. It's the earth asking me to tap into whatever intensity it is, whatever awareness it is, whatever thing it is that my body can contribute. And it's asking for that. And so, yes, I can hold on to it and make that pain mine longer and really, really intensely so. Or I can actually do something that's absolutely yummy and contributes to the earth. And that is literally to just ask my body to, and my being to reach into whatever it is that's intense. And on the count of on the count of 3, to contribute it onwards to the earth. So the earth is going to do with it, shift it and change it in whatever way that works for it. Just because I have a pain in my back does not mean that the earth is going to have a pain in its back. It's going to take whatever that energy is, whatever that intensity is, whatever it is that I'm capable of. Maybe only I am. Maybe 100,000 other people are also tapped into that same energy. But whatever it is, by me being willing to contribute it, the earth is going to be able to receive it and use that contribution for something. I have no idea what it would be. But whatever it is, it's what the earth is requiring, or it wouldn't be asking for it. So on 3, if anybody else has this, feel free to tap into anything that you can contribute out to the earth, whatever intensity you perceive in your body. And on 3, we're going to send it out like a lightning bolt of energy. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now the thing is, you could do like 100 of these, 30 of these, 5 of these, 1,000 of these, whatever works for you. It definitely does work out your muscles after a while. And right now I'm perceiving even more space in my hips and my lower back. That wasn't there even just a moment ago before we began the contribution. The other thing is to recognize that there's a lot of receiving that we're rejecting just by not necessarily receiving what the earth is there to give to us. So one of the most delicious, delicious things that I can invite you to be and to do and to enjoy with your body is to stand there with your feet on the ground, although you can do this laying down in bed too, I've done it, and pull energy from everywhere in the universe. And this is not hard. You do not have to break into a sweat. It is not difficult. You just literally ask for that energy. You ask to pull energy from everywhere in the universe up through your feet, past those cute, sweet, adorable little toes of yours, as Dr. Dane here says, and I absolutely adore, past your ankles, your calves, past your knees, your thighs. Relax your body, soften and receive this flow of energy now into your hips, your abdomen, your heart, thyroid area, up into your shoulders, your neck, whew, and up and out the top of your head. And keep pulling that and pulling that and pulling that and pulling that. And what does that change? Now, what if you would be willing, as you're pulling this energy up through every bit of your body, to remember the last amazing, delicious, just star-spangled orgasm that you've had sometime, this lifetime, another lifetime, yesterday, today, whatever. But pull that energy, that. As you're pulling energy from everywhere in the universe, yummy, yum. Pull that up past your toes, your feet, your ankles, your calves, your knees, your thighs, your hips, and up into your abdomen, your heart, your shoulders, your neck, and up and out the top of your head. And as you're doing that, you can also invite all the energies in the universe to, in addition to this flow, come in through your head as well and energize, going past your eyelids, your nose, your mouth, your neck, your shoulders, your heart, your thyroid, your abdomen, your hips, down into your thighs, your knees, your calves, your feet, and deep into the earth. And that, to me, is the beginning of that conversation with the earth. What is it that it's requiring? When we're willing to let go of that intensity, that density, that this is right or this is wrong, and often when we perceive a bucket, I'm just going to say pain, because that's what it is, right? So this pain, that's the resistance we have to it. Just perceive that word pain. It's already like, ugh. But when we're willing to be this energy and this flow and have this conversation going, it's like we invite everything into the spaces between all our molecules and the earth to play together and to contribute to one another. So whatever I'm capable of contributing to the earth at any moment, whether or not I'm doing the 1, 2, 3 contributions, or I'm just being on the planet, there's a gift to the earth. And if I'm willing to be this space, this energetic invitation to have the return conversation with the earth, the universe, the earth has my back. And we're actually able to hear one another, you could say, without it having to be so intense and so dense and so difficult as we generally make it in this reality. And I did a fine job of that this morning and yesterday morning until I went, bling, I've got tools I could use. Wow, what a concept. So anyway, this has been kind of lengthy, but I wanted to share it with you, and I wanted you to get what a gift your body is, what an awesome, amazing, phenomenal gift you are when you're willing to tune in with your body and actually receive from it and receive from Mother Nature out there too. It's phenomenal. And not only from Mother Nature, you could be in the middle of a, an urban concrete jungle and still receive if you're willing to let go of any point of view that you have and actually wonder, like, hey, what is this? What conversation could we be having? What contribution could I be? And what contribution could I receive? So toodles, enjoy, and arrivederci.